Hi guys, Ryan Bailey here bringing you episode number 22 of the Ball Talk podcast. In this podcast I was joined by Evan Deveney from Kinvara in County Galway. Evan has almost 50,000 followers on TikTok and is well known for his comedy skits and hurling videos. If you haven't checked out his TikTok yet, I suggest you look him up at Devers50. You won't be disappointed. Subscribe for more, follow Ball Talk podcast on Instagram, and I hope you enjoy.
Age as me. I'm 20. I thought you were the same age.
No. I'm still young yet.
So you're only out of TY, yeah?
No, I skipped UI. I went straight
Right.
to fifth year, so I'm going to.
Right, okay. So how you found that?
Yeah.
I'm recording now, so I can fucking edit around this and everything. So
Yeah.
how would you find the crack now with finishing school in online and stuff?
I was very laid back now. To be fair, I could have done a lot more work than they wanted me to do now. So I was kind of laxy daisy a bit. I kind of wanted to just stay outside hurling the whole time. But then I kind of said to myself, might as well do a bit of work. So I was kind of balancing it out really. I was kind of getting the hurling in and off the wall, and then kind of going in doing work like. So it was different now to here like, because it was kind of find motivation to kind of do the work like, because it was, you're at home, like you can go on the Xbox if you wanted to, and it's right there like beside you. So
Exactly, yeah.
difficult enough.
I was the same myself in college, like, because even the thing in college, you just, well, you don't, it's not that you do what you want anyways, but you make up your own mind if you want to go in the morning and stuff like that. At least with school, you have to go in, you have to do this and that. Whereas college, you're out on your own, really, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny.
my sister's in NUI now, and she's doing arts, I think, and she said it's a lot more freedom really than secondary school, like.
Yeah.
So,
So just in terms of both education and you doing TikTok as well, so you've got over 40,000, 45,000 followers on TikTok now.
nearing 46 now at the moment. The last week now I popped up in followers a lot. I don't know what's going on. But,
Yeah, like how did you, like, we'll get back to the whole education part for it as well in a while, but like starting out TikTok, because I've had Darren Kiley and Rachel O'Sullivan on recently as well, and they were saying they just started out for the crack, and I'd say you were the same yourself, just throwing up videos just for the laugh, like.
yeah, I made my first video on the 1st of September last year, and like it was just a case of I didn't even know what TikTok was really. Like so it kind of helped me in a way, because a lot of people were following trends at the time, like they were doing all the same challenges that everybody else was doing, and I kind of just downloaded the app and I kind of just made a comedy skit straight off the bat, and I just made it about school, and it was like what the difference of not doing your homework in first year versus not doing the homework in fifth year.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't do your homework in first year, they don't really care, and then I do the homework in fifth year, and sure, they went pure mental, like, and that kind of popped off straight away. Like I made that video and I had 0 followers and 0 likes and everything, and I made that video and I made it at I think 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday. Went into school then Monday, checked my phone on the way out, and it had like 15,000 views. And I was like, Jesus, what's going on here? Like, so it was kind of a thing that I was like, oh Jesus, if I'm getting views, I might as well just keep going at it. Like,
Exactly.
but like a lot of people like misconcept me. They're kind of like, sometimes like, oh, you must feel the need to make a TikTok and all this. Like some TikTokers do, they have like an upload schedule and all that, but not me really. Like I could have maybe 2 weeks off and it wouldn't even bother me. I just make them when I'm bored, like, and somehow it gets about 100,000 views or something like that, like. So.
Yeah, that's probably the right way to go about it as well, because I know even with this, I started this, I think it's 14 or 15 weeks ago now, and I was uploading once a week, and it was just something that I'd say, right, I'll record on a Monday, I'll have all the editing done on a Wednesday, and then by Friday I'll have it up, because the editing software I was using, it was awful slow, like, so I had to give it a few days to do it. Whereas there about 3 weeks ago, I said I'd start uploading 3 a week, And
Yeah.
for me, that was just to keep me in a routine because I was doing that anyways. Like I was working in 2 pubs before the lockdown, and sure pubs are shut. Like, so just something to keep me going. But it's probably a better way of doing it, just uploading whenever you feel like it, because people are going to watch the stuff that you've uploaded already, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of it can change your life really. Like, people don't really understand that, like, because I found, like, before lockdown now, when I used to be going into town shopping, like, a lot of people would be recognizing you the whole time, and they'd be coming up asking for pictures. And even in discos, like, I don't go to discos anymore, but my last disco was in January, like, and geez, from the minute I went in the door, I say I was leaving the disco, and I had about 200 pictures taken with me, like, and it was like, I don't mind it in bits, like, but it was kind of a bit annoying in the disco, like, because people kept coming up to you and you're trying to enjoy your night in a way, but like, at the same time, you don't want to come across as a bit of a bollocks, like, do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of soft in a way, like, I keep saying yes to photos, but yeah, it can affect, like, matches and stuff as well, like, because lads in the other team, like, 90% of the time, they probably know who you are, like, so they're kind of trying to take you off your game a small bit, but I just kind of don't really pay attention to it, like, so.
Because that's just it. Like, you were playing against lads from 17 years of age up to their 40, but everyone will, whether they have the app or they can get it sent on Snapchat or WhatsApp or whatever, like, everyone will see the videos. And because it's, like, say, when you play the hurling, because you're putting up videos of hurling and videos that are like the skits and that are obviously more relatable to Irish people, like, everyone will eventually see at least one of the videos.
Yeah, but I think it's a better way to go, though, because say if I was doing TikToks now of me, jumping around the place, dancing and all that sort of crack, like, I'd say I'd get the piss ripped out of me the whole time. But I think it's the fact that I'm kind of sticking to, like, the GA side, that people kind of have. I'm not trying to say that people have a lot of respect for me, but they have a small bit more respect for me than people, than they would if they saw just somebody dancing, like, do you know what I mean? Because I think it's just the way the Irish community is, really. If they see somebody doing something that they've never seen before, it's kind of their first mindset to kind of judge them in a way. But whereas if you're just seeing a lad like hurling, you're kind of drawn to him more, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because, like, you'd even see it. You can imagine now on the same sort of topic with two Johnnies or like Rory Stories, them sort of lads. They'd be doing very similar stuff to what you're doing. You can imagine they go out in the field, whether it be football or hurling, and they'll get some buck and be up their hole, like, ripping the piss out of them and all this, and, oh, go on, do this, do that, and then straight after the game they'll be like, geez, hey, your videos are class, I really enjoy them and all this, you know. Yeah. It's just on the field.
Yeah, it's just, you like, I said to somebody before, like, if you're a teenager in Ireland, you kind of have to have thick skin in a way, because there's always going to be some lad kind of starting on you if it's a match, or if it's on a night out, there's always going to be somebody, like, so you just have to kind of prepare yourself for that and just kind of block it out, really. Like, I wouldn't, if somebody was starting on me now, I kind of just say, oh yeah, sure, that's your opinion, and I just kind of walk away, like, do you know what I mean? That's the safest thing to do, really, like, because at the end of the day, they're just kind of looking for a reaction out of you. So
exactly, that's actually something we were talking about, myself and Rachel were talking about yesterday. We're saying how you do need to have that thick skin, because you'd even see it on like comments on videos on TikTok. Some people do get an awful lot of abuse, and they're just doing something because they enjoy it, and people are abusing them over whatever reason. Like, would you get any abuse or anything like that in your comments? Anything bad, like, or would it just be all kind of any sort of abuse be ripping the piss?
Like, compared to other people now, I wouldn't get that much, like, because I just know what it is, really. Like, you get like one comment or two comments, but that'd be just some, like, lad on a fake profile, just, he wouldn't even have a profile picture up, and he just, like, he wouldn't even have a proper username, but if something like that, like I wouldn't really care. But if it's somebody that I actually knew then that said something to me, then I kind of be like, kind of get to me a small bit. But no, not really. I wouldn't really get that much abuse now. But I suppose it depends, like what sort of video you put up, really.
Yeah, because I know there was a girl that Rich was saying she gets an awful lot of abuse. Is it Nevo? Is that her name?
Yeah, Evo, yeah.
She gets a lot of abuse. I don't know what like her videos are like or anything, but surely it can't be that bad that people are abusing like mad.
Yeah, I don't know, like I'm kind of like the Irish TikTok community now. Like I don't really mix with them a lot. Like I say, I'm only talking to one TikToker. That's with me now. So, but yeah, it's just pure childish, really. Like in my opinion, like if you're abusing somebody for just like doing something that they like just don't. If you're not nice to say it, just don't say it at all. Really, it's as simple as that. Like so, and like I don't know why she's getting abused, anyways. Like this Neva one, because she's literally just doing a lot of videos that other people would do as well. Like so, I don't know. It's just something that people have to learn. Like that, words can hurt somebody more than you think. Like like so. You could say something to somebody and they wouldn't care, but if you said it to somebody who's, I suppose, suffering with mental health problems, with depression or something like that, it could seriously affect their day or their week even. So even for me now, like I remember third year, I was suffering badly enough now with anxiety and stuff and depression and stuff. I sometimes like I was struggling with school mainly because I didn't really see the point in going to school. Like I just disliked school the whole time, and I didn't really know what I was working towards. But and like this, for me anyways, like I said before, like you'd only get one comment on TikTok and you get about maybe 100 good ones. But for me, like that one comment could like kind of throw me off a bit. Yeah. So it's just a thing that people have to learn, that if you're saying something mean to somebody, it could like seriously affect them more than you think. Like so.
Yeah, that's it. Just to go on to a different note, as we were saying about the education. So you're going into Leaving Cert now, in comparison to people from TikTok that have been on the podcast before. They're in college, they're coming to the end of their college time, then they know that they're going to go on and finish their college and then see what happens then. So I suppose you're at this kind of crossroads now, going into Leaving Cert, that you're doing well on TikTok, and you can probably see there's a bit of potential there. I know you're doing stuff with different hurling companies, with hurls and slitters and stuff. Like, where are you at now? Like, where's your mindset at in terms of the future for yourself?
Future, Jesus, it's a bit of a. I don't really know, to be quite honest with you. Like the whole Leaving Cert stuff, I like a lot of people have like college stuff, like kind of picked out, and like they kind of have like courses picked out and stuff. But for me, I don't know. I don't really know what I want to do after school. It's either maybe going to the Garda College up in Templemore, or either getting an apprenticeship. I'm not really, or maybe something in sports if I get the points for that. But yeah, a lot of people would be stressing about exams now, but for me, I'm kind of laid back a bit, which is maybe a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But yeah, I don't know really. And for hurling, I want to play hurling for as long as possible, really. And if I break onto a county team, I break onto a county team. It's it's something that I dreamed of as a young lad, really. So
yeah. Sorry, walk outside there, dropping off jerseys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you're saying there with the Leaving Cert, some people do get stressed about it. It's a strange old do, really, with sorry, no, he's distracting me. With the Leaving Cert, it is that you're coming to that crossroads. You're 18 years of age. You're just becoming an adult, essentially. And then it's like this leaving cert is like everyone thinks it's make or break.
Yeah.
There are so many different avenues. There's apprenticeships. There's if you want to get into this course, you don't have to get the 500 points. You can get a certain amount and work towards it, and 2 years later you've been the course. That sort of
Yeah.
It's a very I don't know. Do they need to change like the leaving cert or anything? But it is a strange situation to be in. Even speaking from my own personal experience, like
Yeah. I don't know. It's difficult for somebody like me now that just doesn't have a clue what they want to do really, because a lot of people they kind of have an idea like, oh yeah, I want to become a guard, or I want to become a carpenter, or I want to do something in law or something like that, or sports science or something like that. But yeah, I don't really know where I'm gonna go in life really, but it's just I'll probably figure it out during near Christmas time when I'm actually in school again. So I'll probably make up my mind then. But yeah, as for now, I don't really know what I'm going to be at. I'm probably just going to stick playing hurling with the club, and if that leads to something, it leads to something. But it's an amateur game at the end of the day, so
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even there's lads that I know that took a year out after secondary school, and some people would be saying like, "Oh, geez, taking a year out is a bit drastic," but that they might have taken that year out 2 or 3 years ago, and they're not any bit further behind than the rest of us that didn't take the year out. Like, it's from 18 up to 25 is nothing. Fellas can go back to college at 25 and be the same as a fella starting at 20. Like, it's not going to make any difference.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you want to do. Like I was lucky now that I always wanted to do like sports journalism and stuff like that, because I said if I could get paid for talking about a football match, then happy days. Like, so and this is why I'm doing this stuff as well, to kind of get to meet different people and stuff like that. If I could make money off podcasting, I would, but I don't know. I don't think it's a game that you really make money in. But so then with TikTok and sponsorship and all that sort of stuff, I think ads is probably something that's going to come in more and more into videos. You can see, I think TikTok do their own sort of ads themselves, and there probably will be companies looking at doing different ads and stuff. But you're getting sorted out with hurls and slitters and stuff now with different sponsorship companies, from what I see.
Yeah.
Like it's a handy gig in some ways that way.
It's very handy now, like, because the price of hurls these days, you'd be paying, like, for a goalkeeper hurl especially, you'd be paying the guts of 40 quid nearly, like, for one hurl. And then you have to buy a grip as well, and if you want to buy schlitters and stuff like that. So schlitters these days, for one schlitter is nearly €5, like. So it's helped a lot with the sponsorship side, because I don't actually, I'm unemployed at the moment, but I'm hoping to get maybe a job next summer. I'm like, my plan is really to maybe, if I don't have a right idea, like after leaving cert, I'm going to take a gap year, and I'll just see how it goes from there really, and stuff like that. So
I'm just looking here now at the questions. I put up a question sticker. We covered a few of the questions that were asked. One of them here, when you started doing TikTok, what did your friends think of it at the start, when things started to get big, I suppose?
They didn't really take much notice of it really, like, but like I said before, it was kind of the videos that I was putting it up. But if I was putting up, like I said, if I was doing kind of dancing and stuff, they'd probably have a strong opinion on it really. But the fact that I was kind of doing comedy stuff and they kind of liked it, that they were kind of supporting me a bit. But one thing that I said to myself was, like, I don't really like using the word fame, because then I come across saying that I'm famous and all that. But I'd say, but like, I suppose you have to use it really. But I'm like, for me personally, I'm never going to let fame like change me. I'm always going to be the same person. I'm always going to just stay with the club, and kind of just stay with the family and stuff like that, stay with my friends, and it's not going to go to my head really.
Yeah, And then, as you're saying there, so the comedy sketches, I know I'm bouncing around from topic to topic here, but with the comedy sketches, thinking of thinking up a sketch, like how do you find that process? Is just something that you're, because I can imagine there'd be times where you think, geez, that'd be a good one to do, and then you'd go to do it the following day, you're like, I can't remember that. Do you like kind of take them down and stuff, or plan them out, or is it just off the cuff?
It's just off the cuff, really. But it's more of a thing. I don't think that it's more of just a thing. It's just something that I've experienced before. So like I've been doing sketches recently about basically, it's the lad's called Mikey, really, and he's just a pure hothead, really small lad, just pure sledger like. But people are always asking for him to be brought back. So yeah, he's kind of based on a few people, really. In my own club, like there's a lad who's just a pure hatcher man, and then there's a small lad, and there's a cheeky lad then who's always chatting all sorts of stuff. So it's kind of based on three different people, really, and it's kind of just stuff that I relate to, and then I just throw it up then, like. So I don't really be pre-planning it, like I go on my phone, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just make a video about him now. Stuff like that.
And you're saying there, people looking to like bring back characters. You'd see with Bernard Casey does a lot, where he has his own different characters and does skits with them, and the characters overlap and stuff. Would you be interested in doing that? Just making up sketches with different characters that you'll eventually build up maybe 3 or 4 different characters that can it could be 2 of them going over and back or something.
Yeah, it's funny that you actually asked that. Now I was actually planning on doing that maybe next week. I've 2 characters. I've Mikey and I've Mike the Spike, who's a full back. So so maybe I'm gonna do a skit on them, really. But yeah, it's like I touched on it before that like people are probably saying to me like, oh yeah, you're probably thinking about TikTok the whole time. Like no, not really. Like TikTok isn't my main priority whatsoever, and it probably never will be. I made a video about this before. Family, friends, and hurling and stuff like that in school will always be my main priority. But yeah, TikTok. It isn't something I actually think about a lot. It's just kind of a thing. I pick up the phone and I make a video and I just upload it. Then it's not really a constant thing that's going on.
Definitely, yeah. What could I had a question there for you, and it's absolutely gone blank on my head. I'll go back to the questions on Instagram until I think of it. The next question here for you: what All Ireland is going to come first in Galway, football or hurling All Ireland? Do you reckon?
Jesus. In my opinion, I can't really see anybody beating Dublin anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, but then again, the way Limerick are going at the moment, nobody can seem to beat them, and they're a serious young team of hurlers. So I don't know. I feel like we're going to have to go into a period again of kind of rebuilding, and we're going to have to get a few young lads in with the hurlers, anyways. But maybe football, if we round off the team a bit, like with Shane Walsh, who was one of the best footballers in the country, like. So, and then we've Damien Comer as well, who's just a pure mammoth of a lad, like. So yeah, if you got a hold of a few of the Dublin lads, he'll make sure to flatten them. So I don't know, maybe now football is looking good now before COVID. So I don't know, it's a tough one to say, but I'd probably say football, because the way hurling is now, we're between Canning getting old now, and we're trying to find young lads, and they're not really, they have to bulk up a bit yet. So I'd probably say football, yeah.
Well, to be honest now, I can see Galway winning the football in 4 or 5 years anyways, because it's going to happen. That Dublin team is going to get bet eventually. Like, once they get bet once, you can beat them after that. But yeah, I can see Galway winning the football now in a few years' time, as long as Joyce stays on. So yeah, just before we finish this up, the lockdown, we're coming out of it now, but it's something that I've talked about a few people before. I suppose people have their notions over lockdown. Everyone will try something. They'll try cutting their own hair or making stuff out of pallets or something like that. What was your main thing, do you reckon? Would I suppose making more videos could have been one of them, but what was your main thing that you said, "Feck, I'm going to try this"?
I suppose just hurling outside really was like I was always hurling outside at home like before COVID, but it was a thing that came naturally to me really. Like I wasn't told by the outlet, oh yeah, go out there and poke a few balls. It was a kind of thing like, oh yeah, I usually get up, like have breakfast, and then I'd have nothing to do, so I just go outside poking up against the wall. And it actually helped me a lot because my touch has improved dramatically really from it. Like people always say, go out and poke up a few slitters against the wall, or for football it's go out and you know kick it up against the wall and catch it again. But it's seriously underrated what it can do to you really, because my reactions are a lot faster in goals this year as well from just being outside. And I suppose a lot over the COVID really, it's kind of like my respect and like kind of motivation to play hurling has gotten up a lot as well, because I find like these days that like I usually I'd say now I was in the dressing room before and there's lads in the dressing room and they'd just be there just to be seen really, and they wouldn't really like love the game really. But I absolutely adore the game of hurling. Like I eat it and fucking breathe it and sleep it and everything. Like if I didn't have hurling, I don't know what I'd be at really. And yeah, it's just something that I couldn't live without really, is hurling, because it's just I love it so much. And yeah, like I was saying, like I was in a few dressing rooms before and there'd be lads in the dressing room and they wouldn't really know why they're there really, and they're just there because maybe their fathers told them to be there. And they'd be laughing and joking, and then you'd be kind of saying to yourself, geez, would you cop on really, like, and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say really, but I'm kind of rambling on a bit. But
every yeah, was that sort of situation. We bucks that are there because they love it, and the fellas that are there because they're made go, and then you'll see that it gets a bit, the numbers get a bit thinner then as time goes on, and bucks start to make their own decisions and stuff, and then there'll be some stage where the bucks that look like they have no interest could all of a sudden take an interest in it.
Yeah.
The most interesting
team. Yeah, like for me now, a lot of people find this as a shock for me, but I only started playing for my club when I was 13.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, but I only joined my club when I was 13. I played a bit like under eights, like, and stuff like that, but I never really. I got an Xbox when I was very young, so I was kind of on that the whole time, and but yeah, but I was always poking outside with me father, and he was like he played for Galway in underage levels, and he played minor for Galway as well. So he's kind of a big inspiration for me in a way that I'm kind of like, for me it's kind of a legacy really, even in football as well. You kind of just want to build on your last name and make sure that the jersey is in a better place than after you give it away than when you got it really, like. So yeah, and a lot of my relations played for Galway as well, so it's just something like that really. It's just I was always poking outside, and then it was around, like Dad used to be bringing me to matches up in Crow Park, and then I suppose that's when I really got a love for it then, and I say I'm one of the most passionate lads on the team now for hurling.
That's just it, yeah. You grew to love it, like.
Yeah.
Sort of way. Yeah, I think we've gone through all questions and all that crack. I think we've finished off all that. I think there's a few things now that that I've learned anyways from the chat with you, and it's something that I wanted to do with this podcast, for people to hear from the people. When I say the people behind the camera, I know you're still on camera now, but in a different way. And it's actually really interested me that you've said how TikTok isn't the be all and end all, and it's
Yeah.
you're right as well. And
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say there, but I'll edit it to make it sound good anyways.
I was rambling on for bits there. Now I don't know what I was saying myself.
I'll have a few days anyways. I think sure we got to go to 40 minutes there anyways, so I do I try and trim them down to about 20 minutes, half an hour, because I used to be putting up hour-long ones, but they weren't getting as many listens or anything. So, and it's not really about the listens either. It's about just which ones are easier for people to listen to.
Yeah.
A lot easier to throw it on for half an hour than it is to throw it on for an hour, like so. So yeah, I'll edit around this anyways. Evan, thanks a million for coming on.
No bother at all.
And sure,